All right, diving right into this.
All right.
How do we open up the topic of? I guess I'll start the topic of how do friendships, and relationships just change the older you get, and how like just time and circumstances change things like that. I think about. I'll open with a few years ago in 2016, maybe like 2016 to 2017 school year. Yeah, that sounds about right. We had a guy that me and some of my friends from my church knew. He was coming to school in town with us, right? So of
Yeah.
course he came to church with us and he just hung out with us. He was another one of the fellas, right? And after a while, um, I mean, the only time I saw him was at this summer camp. 5 6 days out of the year.
Yeah.
And I'd say probably about after maybe a month or two, that kind of started wearing off a little bit. Like being happy to see him, it was a little. It's kind of different when you're used to seeing people for a short amount of time, and then you see them for a long amount of time. It's more
Yeah.
like the more time you spend playing a video game, the more things you'll find right and wrong with it. A similar concept or whatever. And and I think I just thought to myself is, you know what, I think this is probably just gonna the hanging out is probably going to be on the lower end from now on, unless it's a group thing, in which case I can't really avoid it unless I don't go. So whatever. I think this solo one-on-one hanging out, this is gonna stop or be at a minimum, because like in my mind it was just. You ever been around the people who just will like they're trying to be funny, but they'll give you a hard time about just about everything. Uh, oh well, you know exactly what that's like because that's all me and Jamarcus did to you back in high school. So that's
Y'all did jump quite a lot.
yeah, we weren't afraid to go below the belt, I guess. But that's kind of
Uh,
what the situation we're looking at, so I guess you understand it perfectly now. Always giving you a hard time, always making jokes at your expense, just ribbing a lot, things like that. And I usually don't have a problem with it, but this time it's just every single time. I thought, you know what? That's enough. I think I've had enough.
if it was every single time, that kind of reminds me of hanging out with Jay.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking is
Except his wasn't ribbing; it was more hating.
yeah, that's what you I remember you saying that. It's just like maybe when you were younger, when you were in high school. You ever notice like in high school, you'll just kind of hang out with pretty much anybody, whether if it's at school at least, you'll hang out with just about anybody, anybody who breathes, just about.
Yeah, as long as they're somewhat cool, you'll talk to them.
It's somewhat cool. You'll talk to them, you'll hang out with them, you'll I don't know, tolerate them. And then the older you get, you become a little bit less afraid to cut people off, whether it's like, or find something that you don't like about them, like with Jay or like with my buddy from summer camp. And eventually, I decided that's enough. I mean, that's enough. I've had enough. And then it's just, I think the next year he went back home, went to school somewhere else, so I didn't see him, you know, 3 or 4 times a week anymore, unless I saw him at school, in which case I saw him more than 3 or 4 times a week. And then it went back to, man, I just never really saw him because I didn't go to the summer camp anymore. And then uh, I mean, I don't know. If he ever texted me something, I would usually just leave him on red, cold blooded. I admit.
Evil. That
or
man's cold.
I'd just I'd be just, frankly, I'd just be a serious prick about my answers if I gave any. And then I don't know what it was. It was actually I went back to that summer camp this past July, and one morning, it's probably like 6 a.m. I was an early riser at this. I was early riser and I was quick to take naps in the afternoons. And it was probably 6 a.m. and I went and washed some clothes. And I had to walk across the little campgrounds or whatever to to get to the room where they had all the laundry equipment, right? And my buddy, his name's Noah. Well, I say that, but Noah is kind of in my path, walking the same direction. So I think, oh crap. Okay, fine. I mean, it's only a 2 or 3 minute walk. Maybe he'll break off and go to the cafeteria or something, and he won't follow me to the laundry room. And he does. I wasn't expecting that. And then while I'm just waiting on this thing to finish up, I mean, we're just sitting down, just ordinary talking. Like, I mean, I haven't seen him in a few years, and we're just talking about ordinary stuff,
Yeah.
and just, I mean, just doing anything like the things like you and me would do. A little bit of catching up, a little bit about just saying this or that, just ordinary stuff. No pun intended. And and he was telling me about. I think I was telling him one time that I think I've only ever been in a Dollar General like 3 times in my life. And I mean, I'm just sitting there on a washing machine. He's sitting down on a chair in in a summer camp in the middle of nowhere, Alabama, on a still very warm probably Tuesday or Wednesday morning at a little bit past 6 a.m. And he was telling me about like the last time he was at a Dollar General. He was he went there pretty often because it was around the corner from his ex-girlfriend's house, who he dated for a little bit over a year, and he was thinking for a little while, hey, this might be it, but eventually just things didn't work out, and he'd been going through it, and all I thought was just okay.
Heart breaks the series.
Hey, it happens, man. It happens everywhere. It hurts, and it hurts too. And what I thought just sitting on that washing machine is, look, this was stupid. He's just been trying to make it. Noah has just been trying to make it for a few years, and this is just stupid for me to hold that against him. I mean, it's been like what 3 or 4 years, maybe longer, since I've seen him, and I've just disliked him based off of. I mean, he moved away from home at 18 to go to school, and I don't know, for some reason I'm expecting his behavior to be just perfect. And I just thought, this is my man's just trying to make it. He's just trying to. I don't know. Ever since then, I've just like looked at basically everyone I've ever encountered. I've just looked at them differently because of that. I've just thought, look, he's just trying to make it, and I've been a total prick about it for 3 or 4 years. And my man's just trying to make it. And frankly, I'm just gonna try and do anything I can to help him make it, even if that's just sitting on a washing machine and chit chatting at a little bit past 6 a.m. on a Wednesday morning.
He probably appreciates you talking to him.
Yeah, maybe he did. It sure seemed like it. That's just what I thought. Is my man's trying to make it, and I've just been a total prick about it for no good reason, really.
I feel you.
That's just something I've thought about recently. Is every time I encounter somebody, I mean, hey, they're just trying to make it. That's what everybody's trying to do. Is they're just trying to make it.
True. I'm trying to make it. You're trying to make it. We're all
Everybody.
just trying to, yeah, we're all just figuring it out as we go along.
I mean, yeah, especially when you get in that early to, because he's three. I think he's 2 or 3 years younger than me, so he's in that early to mid 20s age bracket, kind of like us. And that's especially in that age bracket. Hey, man, they're just trying to make it.
Yeah,
They're just
definitely.
trying to make it.
They're just getting into life.
Yeah, and that's what I just think about is something like how do we just I guess look at other people when I thought one time about I think it was my last year before I moved away to finish school. Uh, there were these. I was taking 5 classes and I think two of these classes I had these one, two, three, four. I think it was four. These four girls that I knew, and we kind of, well, it's not like we got super personal or anything, but when you have two classes with each other, and when you all four, one, two, three, four, five of us had, I can count. Yeah, I'm a graduate student. I'm smart. Uh, when you get the five of us in the same class, yeah, same two classes. So, I mean, you're spending a lot of time together. Yeah, when you think about that, when you have a certain amount of like school time with the same people, you spend a lot of time together. And we got to know each other semi well, to the point where you thought, hey, maybe there is some sort of something resembling a friendship in the future that could be a possibility, something like that. And then just ever since those classes were over, those two classes ended, never said a word to him ever since. No one said a word to end. I mean, as far as I know, maybe they still kept in touch, but for me, uh-uh. No, I never said a word. We never said a word to each other ever again. Which I think that's so crazy how for what 4 or 5 months straight we all got along really well and everything, and then just after that, nope, nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, some
yeah.
people. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, this is if it's distance related, that can do it.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
100%.
I've hung out with people that I haven't talked to since, but like convenience is and a little bit in common, can go a long way in those type of situations.
Oh, dude. See, this is what I remember saying about how about when I graduated high school. You remember when I don't know if I said this to you before. When I graduated high school, pretty much after we graduated high school, I didn't really say that much to Landon ever.
Yeah, I remember you doing.
And how I said when we went to that midnight release for Smash 4, it's just so crazy how I mean we talked every day at high school because we had 2 or 3 classes together in high school. And then after we graduated, I just didn't say a word to him until I guess like the end of September or something, or the end of August, something like that.
We gotta link up with our boy Landon.
That's on
I haven't heard I haven't heard from Landon in like a month and a half,
it's
two
on the
months.
agenda, and how just what affects your relationships and friendships with people when I think the way I always put it is that sometimes when you don't see somebody on a regular basis, it gets really hard to talk to them. It comes surprisingly challenging. Uh, it gets kind of difficult to talk to some people sometimes when you don't see them on a regular basis.
True, especially when you both have like two very different lives going on and
Hmm.
stuff. Like Landon be working all the time too.
Yeah, he's got himself a nice gig. I'm glad he does.
His job in Birmingham and his Steam stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad he's. Yeah, you know what? He's just trying to make it. That's what it is.
He's trying to make
He's
it.
trying to make it, and he is making it. That's good for him.
We still hear from Landon in the group chat.
And that's why we have. Well, that's one thing that I thought was so crazy, is how long. So you know how we said after high school, it just kind of seemed like, well, this is it. Some of us are moving away. Some of us are still in high school. This and that. And so we just kind of thought, well, that's it. And so for a little while, just even the relationship between the four of us, I mean, the boys from high school just changed totally because we didn't say much to each other. We didn't do much together. Um, and I think that was just so nuts, so weird to think about. And then like, we just start a group chat That's all it is. It's plain and simple. We just start a group chat, and that changed things. That's so weird. How like what affects your relationship, and I think like, all of a sudden it's like we were revitalized. I remember a few years ago, back when you were a different time of going through it, and you said, well, I mean, that's why I like the group chat, is because we can actually all say something. It's not quite like old times when we would get together in the parking lot after school. It's not quite like that, but I mean, frankly, it's the closest we're gonna get. So I kind of like that we put together a group chat like that.
Group chats are the way. You don't ever realize it's just me and you who mainly does the talking in the group chat.
Yeah, and then Jamarcus will pop up every once in a while. He'll say a little something, but
Yeah, that's not it. We don't. Yeah, but I don't know. I still hear from Jamarcus though. I still hear.
yeah,
From
this
Jamarcus.
is actually crazy
I
that you
always,
say that too.
I always
sorry,
got
go
to see
ahead.
what. I always got to check in with Jamarcus. I always got to check in with my little man.
That's crazy because you told me that Jamarcus has been going through it too. He's just trying to make
My
it.
boy's trying to make it.
He's trying to
My
make
boy's
it.
trying to make it. Baby.
And I mean,
My
I just
boy's.
texted him. This is actually I pulled it up right here. Last Wednesday, I just sent him a text that, hey, keep your chin up. And then the next day he says, sorry for the late reply. Same to you, fam. Hope all's well with you. Love you, man, and stay safe. And I thought, dang, dude, who stole Jamarcus' phone?
Oh, my boy's got nappy. My boy's going through it. You can tell that's not.
That's all I thought was, dang, dude, who stole Jamarcus' phone? Because this ain't him. But it's crazy. Like, I mean, whether it's because he's going through it or it's because he's gotten older, one or the other. I mean, just hey, now things are a little bit more serious, I guess. On a little bit more serious note, it's when the boys become more than just guys you play video games with.
You could say we've all grown a lot.
I mean, yeah,
From what
it's because we all
we used to be.
we all been trying to make it.
For real. Oh man, that's actually that's great right there. I'm gonna start using that.
I mean, if you
Try-
I'll do the J. Jonah Jameson. I want to get a quarter every time someone says it. That's just so weird. Like, even if you'd sent that if someone could go back in time and tell me 1 year ago, 2 years ago, hey, Jamarcus gonna say, "Love you, fam, stay safe," or whatever. I don't think we're talking about the same Jamarcus.
Bro, if you were anybody else, Jake, and told me that, I wouldn't have believed you. But I know you won't lie about it.
This is crazy too, because you weren't here. You weren't actually there. You remember that night? I guess it was in like Thanksgiving time in 2017. Remember that time you stormed? I mean, for good reason, but you stormed up out of the man cave and ran off to the monitor because you weren't happy about us. Yeah.
Take it, bro.
Hey, where'd this quarter come from? This quarter just appeared in my pocket. But you remember that, right? And then you were okay. So you'd already left, and Jamarcus was saying, "Nah, man, he's just downstairs. He's faking it. He's doing it for attention." You. Yeah, see, that's what's funny is you weren't there to hear that, and Jamarcus is talking. He was talking it off. He's saying, "Nah, man, he's just doing it for attention. He's downstairs. It ain't nothing. He's just playing. He ain't messing around. He just wants attention." And then Gabe came upstairs and said, "Hey, who took the car?" Oh, Jamarcus, I think you were wrong.
Now I wish I was there for that one.
Yeah, that was. Well, it was also stupid. We showed how smart I was because I just said, no big deal. I'll just call him. And then I called your phone, and it's right there. It's still in the room with us. Well, I'm an idiot. I have exhausted my usefulness for the day, I suppose. Because I could see your phone. I was looking at it and then wondered why that phone I was looking at was ringing. But that was just, I think it's crazy because I think that was the first time we ever had to have sort of a, I guess I'll call it an intervention because
That was like the first time we ever had any. That was like our deepest conversation.
see, this is what I was talking about is like this stuff at, stuff like this in high school probably would have made me really uncomfortable. Just, hey, can we go back to talking about video games by any chance?
hey, hey, bro. Something like that would have not have happened in high school.
Yeah, also, I don't think any of that would have happened with any of us in high school. You are correct
Yeah,
about that. Like that's when we
no,
were
that
pretty
was
much we just hung out because we all played video games together, right?
something like that would have not have happened.
And then
You know what? To be honest, I probably, if I was in high school, I probably wouldn't have brought it up at all.
no, well, I mean,
I don't know. Maybe we
for,
probably just
now I'm
wouldn't have
saying
talked
for
about it.
for a little while you still didn't bring it up here.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
See, cause what I'm thinking is how that was pretty much just the thing that we did back then. Is I think even back then we still ribbed each other a little too much. No, we were actually really funny, but maybe we did rib each other a little too
Well,
much. I'm not sure.
our ribs were they weren't that bad, to be honest with
We
you.
didn't do anything that was below the belt. We kind of just picked on each other. Said, "Yeah, you suck at this game. No, you suck at this game."
Yeah, like our ribs were like, you suck at a video game or you suck at this. They were never like, we never made fun of each other's like voices or bodies or like
yeah, like your personal life.
anything like that. We didn't do anything. We didn't make those type of ribs. And like when we were just regularly hanging out, not playing video games, we didn't rib on each other.
Yeah,
we
we
just
did rib
stopped.
each other like crazy.
We only did our ribbing during the gaming sessions.
They
For real,
telling each
for
other
real.
how bad we were,
We were competitive back
or
in
in
the day.
some cases how not good the other person is. Right? You're not good.
You're not good. I remember Lenny used to be like, Jordan, stop sucking.
I remember that. That was
That
an OG.
That line got Prince beat.
That's all it took.
That line got Prince beat.
That's all it took. See,
That's all it took.
and now I'm
Len
flashing
Pep.
back how that was like that's crazy how you think like through high school and halfway through college, that's sort of what we just were. We were just guys who played video games together, which is also it's funny that I say that like it's not a good thing, but that's also one of the reasons we've all kind of stood the test of time. It's just crazy to think about. I mean, we're
Always
talking
have
like
fun.
no, dude, that's what I'm just thought about. Like this is 10 years. Like we started high school 10 years ago, so that
Yeah, I
means
met you like what, 8th grade,
like
and
8th
that
or
was in
9th
like
grade, something like that.
2010, bro. That was like 2011.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's 10 years ago. So hey, great. That means
So these for 10 years.
we've reached a milestone, a decade. Holy crap! we're
Hey,
getting old.
you think we're still gonna be cool in our 30s?
I think I speak for both of us when I say I hope so.
So too. I don't think you could do anything to like. I don't know unless you like sleep with my wife in the future. I don't think there's anything you could do to make me not your friend.
Well, you're not really keen on getting married, so that shouldn't be a problem.
That is true. That is true. You're skipping all that.
Hey, we might as well. Let's see. I gotta say this before I forget too. So you think about, I look at the timeline, how we never really had any kind of interventions or anything resembling like deep talks, like friendship checklist talks or whatever in high school, or even in college for a while. So that means for like 5 or 6 years, we were going on 5 or 6 years probably of us just, hey, why are you friends? Because we play the same video games. That was pretty much the long and the short of it.
Probably the short answer, but we were friends for a lot more reasons. Like we went to New York together, my guy.
And what did we do there? We played video games.
Yeah, but we did a lot more. We went to the dope restaurant. We went to
That doesn't
that
narrow it
place.
down. They were all pretty solid.
That pizza place was lit.
Yes, it was. It was like $1 slices, $2 slices, and they were some big ends of slices.
You got those big slices.
And they gave the canned drinks too. I liked that.
Yeah.
That was a nice place.
We went to the NBC Studios, Nintendo Land.
Nintendo World was so good.
I caught Fire Emblem. I re-fell in love with Fire Emblem that day.
I spent over $100 in that store.
You know, I would have
Regret
probably
it.
never even bought Fire Emblem Awakening if we did go to that store.
Yeah, it was kind of the impulse that, well, we're here and we don't know the next time we're going to be back, so
And I was
you might
like,
as well, you got to buy something, right?
yeah, in my mind, I was like, I bought that poster, and I bought, what did I buy? Some plushie that I wanted. And I was like, I know I want something else, but I don't know what. It has to be Nintendo. And then I saw the Fire Emblem, and I was like, yo, I haven't played Fire Emblem since the Game Boy days. Then I asked that dude, when did this one come out? And he was like, oh, it's brand new. And I was like, yo, they just made a new Fire Emblem? And I got the 3DS? Had to cop.
Had to play it on the
Instant
way
buy.
home, too.
Bro,
Play it on the
what?
plane ride home.
What? That's all I did. You could ask Landon. He sat by me. That's all I did for the whole night.
See, now it's funny. See, we do that. I just kind of okay. I get what you're saying now, because it's not just
Hey, wait. You want to know something funny about that?
what.
I just thought about. You remember that other girl, bro? I don't remember her name. I think it was Sarah.
Which it's so you basically just pick the most generic female name in America. Okay,
For real, I can't remember, bro.
which one?
Never mind. I think she had braces. Honestly, Jake, I cannot remember.
You mean Sierra?
I think that was her name.
Okay,
But
well,
she said in front of me and Landon. I remember her trying to talk to us, and all me and Landon. I think this is where Ribbon was crazy. All me and Landon did was rib her. All we did was make fun of her, bro. Every time she turned around and said something, all we did was make fun of her. Oh. Yeah, I think we were a little too much on that one.
We did rib. Maybe we did. Well, the thing is, we didn't rib each other too much. We've ribbed everybody else too much.
True.
See, okay, so now I'm kind of coming around. It's kind of just going and doing things, just bigger things like that. Sometimes I actually forget that happened. Doing bigger things like that brings together a little bit. I think that's where the kind of your, since we're talking about Fire Emblem, your bond level starts to strengthen a little bit when you do bigger, more exclusive things like that, like going to New York City. Cause
I think I'll ever think about that. That was dope.
no, that's crazy. It is crazy. I forget a lot of things that happen. If you asked me, I would probably if someone asked me, have you ever been to New York? Yeah, I've been there before, but I'd probably never tell people because I just forget until someone says it. Which
True.
the brain is
True.
really something else.
Yeah, I wouldn't usually bring it up unless someone brought. I told a couple people about that New York trip. A couple people about it. Because I know, especially up here, because I know a couple of the people I work with talk about New York, and I always bring up the trip I went on.
That's pretty cool.
It was a dope trip.
It was.
Remember we walked into that porn shop, and we
Ooh,
didn't know it
boy.
was a porn shop. Crazy Tom.
What is your quote? Wow, they really don't block this stuff off here. Is that what you said?
For real. Yeah, they really just let us walk in there. We all don't even look older than, I don't think I was older than
Dude, there is
15.
no way we looked older than what we were. Frankly, some of us
For
may have
real.
looked younger.
I had a whole baby face back then, and they just let us walk right
I
in
had
the
a baby
store.
face too.
No problem.
See, going from so it's funny. It seems like there's sometimes like checklists that you hit on friendships or why you're friends or something. Because now I'm thinking, okay, so we just played video games together a bunch. I mean, I guess that constitutes as friends. And then we kind of all went on a trip together. Yeah, okay, so now we're getting somewhere. So that and then after that, we just kind of split up in for college for a little while, and then we have to have sort of an intervention because we have to have sort of an intervention because you get we're
I mean,
just hanging out one night at your place and then you get mad and storm off, so it's kind of weird. Like we're hanging out at your house and with
you know, I guess that goes to show you how good of friends we are, for real, for real.
group hug. Just
You don't tell.
we
There's
don't-
probably some friendships that don't even make it this long. I mean, there's
Hey,
definitely
10 years. 10 years, baby. We've reached the double digits. Honestly, that's what I just think that's what I thought that was the turning point. That's what I thought that was the turning point where things could have just gone really south. It was like you remember how last time we were talking you said that there were some parts of my life that just you swear I'm making up like it's a romantic comedy, right?
Yeah. Only movie stuff happens to you, man. I swear.
But that's funny that you say that too, because I was just about to say, because now we're moving from a romantic comedy to this was definitely a dramatic movie moment. Because I remember when Gabe came upstairs and he said, "Hey, who took the car?" And then we thought, "All right, okay, this is a little bit more serious than we thought it was, apparently." Because you drove off and didn't say a word to us. Oh, well, who was it? Who was that? It was me, Jamarcus, Gabe, Rodney, and I think it was your cousin. It was TJ.
I think he was there.
I think he was there because he was the one who rode with me to the Monitor. Because I told I didn't know you were there. I just figured, okay, maybe you're there. That's just someplace we always went after high school. Again, sounded like a super dramatic movie right now. Movie stuff happens to me, I guess. I just thought, okay, well, I mean, Landon works there, and it's just a place that we always went after high school. So I'm gonna try there, and I'm on the way with TJ in the car, and I texted him, asked Landon, "Hey, is he there?" "Yeah, he's here." He said, "All right, good. Just don't let him leave." And so we get there. I pull up, me and TJ pull up, and as soon as we open the door, you make a break for the door, and we're nearly brawling on the sidewalk because you're trying to get away. You're trying to get away from me, and I'm trying to get you to stay so we can figure out what's going on. So we walk through the. We're just brawling on the sidewalk outside the Monitor while Landon and TJ are just probably standing there watching us. There's no telling what the people driving by were thinking.
True.
And
They
then,
were probably Snapchatting us.
yeah, I mean, if Snapchat was around I'm sure it was. If Snapchat was
pretty
around
sure
back
it
then.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Probably.
Yeah, because I've had Snapchat since 2016.
Hot dog, yeah, I guess it was around since then. And that's when I thought, okay, this is the milestone as far as friendships, relationships go, is because something ain't right here, and I can either let him figure it out himself, bad idea, or we can do something about it. And I just remember thinking out there on the sidewalk while we're brawling. While we're brawling on the sidewalk at this shopping center sort of in the county, in the suburban Witcher. Out in the suburban region, and I'm thinking, oh, well, you know what? This just might be it. The boys might break up here, because it ain't looking good for us right about now. As we're brawling on...
I wasn't thinking that. I wasn't thinking that. I was just thinking, we'll argue, and then we'll be good tomorrow.
And I think that's just
something like that wouldn't make me stop talking to you.
No, that's because
that was more on me and how I was feeling.
I had a hunch of what was going on. I had a hunch of what was going on, but I didn't know that, so I'm not gonna make any assumptions. Even, dang, good hindsight, good heads up thinking by 21-year-old me, I guess.
Was I 21 when that happened?
Yeah, dude, that was in the Thanksgiving of 2017. That was 4 years ago. That was 4.
Oh, Lord.
because we haven't turned
Lord
20.
have
We
mercy.
haven't turned 25 yet. So that was 4 years. Oh,
Those
dude,
heart-
we're getting
those
old.
heart-
We're getting up there. We're in
those
our mid
heartbreaks
20s.
those heartbreaks are serious,
We're not
man.
young anymore.
We're not young
We're
anymore,
not young
man.
anymore.
Crazy.
um, we That's when I thought. Okay, so there's just a point. It's like secretly, I think back then, when it wasn't put into words, but secretly back then, that's when we all realized to each other, hey, we're all just trying to make it. Cha-ching, 25
Yeah,
cents in my
we're all
bank
trying to
account.
make.
And that's when I think things like we started realizing, all right, this whole thing about being friends is more than just playing video games. That's when we got to help each other out. There's got to be some point where we do more than just help each other out by playing video games, but help each other out by chit chatting, whether that's sitting on a washing machine in some summer camp in Alabama or while we're brawling on the sidewalk of a shopping center in the county region. I mean, it's just crazy how your relationships change over time. Like there are people in high school that you talk to every day, and then once you graduate high school, gone. Never say a word to them ever again. Nothing. And then you have just people that you still the same, like you still talk to the same people that you did 10 years ago. And then it's like it's like with Jamarcus, and then the way you talk to each other is different, is just completely different. Like you said, if you told me 2 years ago, Jamarcus gonna say, "Hey, love you, man. Take it easy." Whatever else he said to me, yeah, we ain't talking about. I don't think we know the same Jamarcus. I don't think we're talking about the same person. If that's what you're saying.
Our boy is really grown up. Our boy is really
Yeah, that's
grown
the
up.
weird way to say. Weird way to think about it. Hey, he's all grown up now.
For real.
um, I mean, I think that's just. I mean, I guess that's a reasonable thing to say. Like, what? Jamarcus is 22. Is he 22 or 20? Is he gonna be 22 or 23 this year?
He's gonna be 23 this year.
Okay, so yeah, about 2 years older than him, right? Okay, that makes sense.
He's him and Gabe are the same age.
Right. Okay. So that's weird too. When you think about it, you mentioned that. Like, how has your relationship with TJ or with Rodney and Gabe changed within, I don't know, the past 3 or 4 years even?
You know something. Our relationship with Gabe has like changed a couple times.
What do
Cause
you
like
mean?
in high school, me and Gabe I ain't gonna say we ain't really like each other, but we clearly had different like attitudes towards everything.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
We clashed a lot, but we're pretty much the same age. I mean, I'm 2 years older than him, but like we're pretty much the same age.
Yeah.
So we clashed a lot. But after college, I don't know what happened. Me and Gabe got super close. Like he became my boy. Like, he's always been my boy, but that's
Yeah.
my boy.
Yeah, because he was always your boy because he's your brother, but now it's a little bit more.
Real. I'm like close to Gabe. I talk to Gabe every day.
That's crazy. That's weird. See, like I said, that's just again. I mean, if someone told you that 2 or 3 years ago that you're gonna, okay, maybe 2 or 3 years ago it was a little bit more reasonable than in something like in high school.
Gabe was lame. I used to think Gabe was lame, Loki. That's what it was. I used to think Gabe was lame. Like, I don't know. I spent the summer at home, and I was like, that's like when I hung out with Gabe a lot, and I was like, nah, my boy is cool as shit. And me and Rodney's always been on a good. Our relationship's always been the same. Like, it's just we have a brother relationship, you know. Sometimes we argue, but most of the time we're on the. Me and Rodney are usually always on the same page. Like, I don't ever really have any problems with Rodney.
Yeah, I guess two being like relatively similar age, growing up together, it's just
Yeah.
it's not a perfect formula that you'll have like similar interests, but I think when you said that something like your parents have three sons, so when it comes time to y'all like video games, right? So when it comes time to buy a video game, like you can't buy each of you three your own video game. Here's $60. The three of you, unfortunately now it's 60, but maybe back in the day it was here's $50. Go find a game. Oh, a
It
game
was
for
like
each of
40
us? Nah, a game for
games.
all three of you, and you had to pick all three of you had to pick a game. So maybe you had to have a common interest, except in
I hated, I hated
a one certain occasion where you did not have a common interest.
I swear, man. Like we had like every Dragon Ball Z game. I did not know why they wanted another Dragon Ball Z game.
Yeah.
Oh man.
In the event that this hasn't been told to our beautiful multitude of viewers at home, there is a certain.
Um,
No, you go ahead. You do you. This is your story, not mine. I'm just here to listen and laugh.
hey everybody, it's a little context. So my mom and dad had given us each $20 to buy a game. And the new games in there were usually like 40 and stuff at GameStop. And Beautiful Joe had been out for a while, but I hadn't got it. But with $40, I could have gotten it. But $40 was also the price for Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit. And me and my brothers came together, and I tried my hardest to convince them to buy Beautiful Joe. And they, for some ungodly reason, they went with Dragon Ball Z. Mine, all of you. We got Budokai 2 and 3 at the house, Tenkaichi 3 at the house, like all Dragon Ball Z games, and they just want another one. And I threw the biggest shit in that game. I cried my heart out at the GameStop. And in the end, we got Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit.
Oh man! Except for one certain occasion where you did not have a common interest.
For real, that was heartbreaking for little Jordan.
Oh my goodness gracious,
It
that's
was
so
so
funny.
heartbreaking. I didn't even know why they wanted that game. And then we got it. We got it, and we played the mess out of it. I can't lie, we played it,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah.
I was
There's a
angry.
silver lining. It's a sort of happy ending.
I was angry playing it, but I played it.
Is that why you won so much?
I had to get better than everybody in the house.
You had to show them. You had to make them wish
What?
they'd gotten Beautiful Joe.
For real.
You had to win so much they wished that you had Beautiful Joe.
Beautiful Joe was everything I thought it was gonna be when I finally got the game.
It's so weird if you try and look at a timeline of of your friendship with somebody. When you try to look at a timeline of your friendship with someone, and it's just how it changes over time. That's just always curious. The older you get, how it changes. Like I said, I think what was it? I think it was today. I sent yeah, because I went down. I had to take that route to get to GameStop today. When I sent that snapshot or that what is it? That screenshot today that I was listening to this morning. One of the first songs I picked to play while I was driving today was Hall and Oates. It was from Hall and Oates, Daryl Hall, John Oates. For those of us, if you're stupid like me and you thought Hall and Oates was a cereal, you didn't even know who it was. Because I know, I actually remember one time by chance I went to Publix to the grocery store down here, and Landon was also there. Like he was just getting out. No. He was just about to go home when I pulled up. And it was just the weirdest little chance meeting that we were at Publix at the same time. So he I think his mom asked him to go can you run down to Publix and grab something for me? Yeah, sure, why not? And so he put those groceries in his car, and then he came into Publix with me and we were hanging out while I was doing some grocery shopping. And I think maybe he bought something else too, I don't remember. And he was just talking to the cashier. This, mind you, this happened like 2 or 3 years. This had to have happened like 3 years ago or something. because I guess I was still here in town.
Yeah.
And he was talking to the cashier about how much the cashier really liked Hall and Oates, and Landon really liked Hall and Oates. And I still remember that from 2 or 3 years ago, I guess. And I sent him that screenshot, said, "Hey, this one's for you." And it was a screenshot of me listening to Hall and Oates.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just, I mean, I don't know. People love stupid little stuff like that. I mean, small things make the big difference.
Bro, it's crazy the small little details we can remember. Like you said, what did you say? The brain's a crazy thing.
Hey, the brain is a mad machine. The brain is
The
something
brain,
else. And
the
that's
brain
just
is something.
those are the phrases that Will have coined. Hey, they're just trying to make it. The brain is a mad machine. Those will be our trademarks. Those are what's going to be on our T-shirts one day. Those are the T-shirts that we'll sell.
We need that, and he's just trying to make it T-shirts.
He's just trying to make it, man. He's just trying to make it.
We need those T-shirts.
The brain is a mad machine. I mean, it's just stupid stuff like that, even that just shows that in a friendship kind of way, the spark's still there. The spark is still there. It's like you're still the boys from high school in the parking lot at high school, except you're just a little bit older. You're a little bit older, and you're not in the high school parking lot anymore. I think that's just like the goal. That's like maybe is the end game goal that people want to have. You're still the boys from high school in the parking lot after school. You're just a little bit older. I think that's the goal. You're still the boys. You're just a little bit older.